Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. So this book is in front of you. This belongs to the masjid. This is our book, textbook. The book is talking about Tawheed. The whole book is called The Concise Collection on Creed and Tawheed. Creed here is talking about Aqidah, the Muslims' belief. Tawheed, as I was saying before, what is Tawheed? Tawheed is the topic for today. Who here know what Tawheed is?
Based on the letter that is coming after.
You.
Then.
What's Tawheed?
So on and so forth. Okay?
If you don't know, say I don't know.
The first,
Good. You, what is Tawheed? You should know. You don't know? You should know. What is Tawheed, Yusuf?
If it is mean, it will be wrong. So they combine
what?
Like,
Isn't it like when you do something really good?
okay,
No.
we can go through the example.
Farhan, what is Tawheed?
So, meme and then
Huh?
it will be we just said, in order for us to do it,
Oh, I know.
For him finish.
alayhim, we do not close this way. Because of
What is Tawheed?
it sounds like the meme shadda.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm right, but when you go to the Kaaba,
Okay?
No. What's Tawheed?
Ba'd. That is
I ain't tell you look in the book.
Meme, and then we pronounce it.
What is Tawheed though?
which means to
Ba'd.
divide
I do
something
not
or
say
make something.
Excellent. You know, I didn't tell you to go in the book, but you should know that because you have pretty classes talking about this topic. So Tawheed means the oneness of the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The oneness of the worship of Allah. Now, how much was it?
$2.
$2? Oh, you got some money? Some my change?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can take
Stop playing with
So Tawheed is the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's saying in Surah Al-Ikhlas, everyone should know this surah. And if you're not, you're going to learn it. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say Allah, He is one. Alright? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's one. So Tawheed means to make something one. Wahada yuwahidu tawheedan. In the Arabic language, this is a verb, past, present, and it's al-masdar. Alright? The noun, a derivative noun. Alright? So, or the grunt. So Tawheed means to make something into one, or one God. Make something into one. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is one. He has no partners. Tawheed have different aspects. Tawheed have different aspects. So we're going to read today some of the different aspects or categories related to Tawheed. The first one is Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Tawheed al-Rububiyyah means the oneness or the uniqueness or the unity or the oneness of Allah related to His Lordship. His Lordship. Meaning that Allah is the creator of everything that exists. He's the originator, the creator, the sustainer, the cherisher. He is the provider. There is no other God besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we understand that Allah, that He is one. He's the one who's the creator. Allah says in Surah Al-Fatiha, which we recite in the Quran, Alhamdu lillahi rabbil alameen. What does this mean, Yusuf?
And I'm not expecting anybody to get less than 10 out of 10 or 20 out of 20.
It means
Because it's my first time explaining the same thing again. Simply, we have 3 rules.
Mustafa, what it means?
First, 3 rules. For
You should know.
First one is idgham.
What's Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen? All praise due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Man, you should guys know this. Alright? So Allah, all praise due to Allah, the Lord, the owner, the one who's in control of. So Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is a very important aspect. But a person does not enter the folds of Islam with Tawheed al-Rububiyyah only. Recognizing that Allah is the one who's creator, sustainer, the cherisher, the organizer, the originator. This is Allah. A person don't enter Islam with these beliefs only. Why? Because Christians believe that God, He's the creator of the world, but they worship other than Allah. They say Jesus is God. So a person doesn't enter the folds of Islam, Islamic monotheism or monotheism, with this belief only. Because Christians recognize that God is the cherisher of the world. He created it. But they ascribe partners in worship with Allah. And that goes into the second aspects of Tawheed, which is called Tawheed uluhiyya, the oneness of the worship of Allah. Meaning that we single out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in worship. We single Allah in worship. Alright? Allah says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah said He created the mankind and jinn except for worshipping Him. So we understand that worship is solely for Allah. Singing out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in worship. Alright? We don't associate partners with Him. Allah doesn't have no son, no children. None of these things. There's nothing co-equal to Allah. Allah says in Quran, back to وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And this is one particular verse. Many of the verses, Surah Al-Ikhlas, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Allah says in Surah Al-Ikhlas, say Allah, He is one. Allah is self-sufficient. Self-sufficient. He doesn't have no needs, no wants. Then He says, Lam yulad wa lam yulad. Begets not, nor is He begotten. Then we say, Kufuwan ahad, meaning there is nothing similar to Allah. There's nothing in this creation mithlu. Allah says in Quran, Laysa shay'in mithlihi. There's nothing that is similar or like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that we know that our worship is solely for Allah. Many verses in the Quran, Allah talks about La ja'ala, do not make a nidad. Nidad, mez nidad, equals with Allah. Then Allah says other verses, whoever associate partners with Allah, that ahbat al-ma'alahum, whoever associate partners with Allah, all his good deeds are lost. Wa ma'wahu an-nar. And then he will be put in the fire. So those who worship other than Allah or ascribe partners with Him, that they will end up, what? In the hellfire. Then Allah says in the Quran, Allah says He forgives any sins. Any sins that He will forgive, except for those who what? Worship other than Him. Associate partners and worship of Him. So this aspect of Tawheed uluhiyya, the oneness of the worship of Allah, is very important. This is how we come into the folds of Islam. Then Tawheed has another aspect, which is called Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat, the uniqueness in the names and the attributes of Allah. And this is a very important category, because in today's ummah, in today's Muslim nation, many Muslims, when it comes to the names and the attributes of Allah, they have issues in them. So the names and the attributes of Allah we get from Allah Himself, from the Quran, and from the Sunnah of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But you have some Muslim sects, some Muslim groups who discredit, alter, or give similar tools to Allah's names and attributes, like Al-Jahmiyyah, Wal-Mutazila, Wal-Asha'ira. Right? These are certain sects in Islam. Al-Asha'ira, you will find many Muslims hold the Aqidah Al-Asha'ira, but many of us don't understand this right now. Alright? So what we're going to do is do a little reading. Alright? We're going to do a little bit of reading. We're going to get an understanding what is Tawheed, the things I just mentioned to you already. Now you have an understanding what I'm talking about. You have an understanding now what we're going to read. Who wants to read first? You, big man.
The word Tawheed linguistically is derived from the Arabic verb wahada, which means to unite something.